Painted by Esther, specific beautiful ethereal blush has been going pretty viral as of late. I know that I definitely became more aware with Olandria from Love Island, who I absolutely adore, even though I haven't watched a single episode of Love Island, but that's a whole other story. But I've noticed a lot of amazing looks. She's done looks with Nara Smith and really notable other public figures and entertainers, and I really wanted to try to recreate this really beautiful blush that has a lot of character and personality. So I hope I pull it off, and I hope you stay along with me for this journey because it's a lot of fun. I love blush. So I did lay down a little bit of makeup to start, and I'm going to use a little bit of a highlighting concealer. I'm specifically using House Labs, and it's number 33, and it's going to bring a little bit of highlight because it is a very bright, prominent makeup. So I'm going to lay down some concealer to highlight just to kind of brighten up that area. I did use a little bit of silver highlight. You can see in the corner of my eyes. That's like from Fenty Beauty, specifically the Diamond Bomb highlighter, and it's such a beautiful formula. I absolutely love it. I think I have it lying down next to me, this one. So I love it so much. I've dipped into it a few times, so it's kind of changed color a little bit. But I really love that. I'm probably going to lay down a little bit more of that later on. But I'm going to start off just with this concealer, maybe let it set for a little bit just to brighten the inner corner, going more to the center of the face because a lot of the attention of that makeup is towards the center of the face. And then it spans pretty much entirely the cheekbones. And I have a pretty round face, so this is going to look very dramatic. It's probably going to be way out of my comfort zone, but I still want to give it a shot because again, I love blush. Blush is beautiful, and these looks are just chef's kiss. They're like so fairy-like. You can see that that highlighter brought a lot more focus into the center of my face. I'm just going to do a tiny bit of contour, not even that much, because I want the majority of this makeup just to be the focus on the blush. So I'm just putting on a little bit of contour. It's not that dark. My cream blush, this is from Sydney Grace, their Pot Cream Concealer in Free Spirit. And it's a very beautiful baby doll type pink. I'm using a brush that's a little bit big, but it's the Real Techniques, and it's their bubble brush, mainly because I don't know where my specific blush brush is, but they're blending bubble blush. I'm gonna dip into the pot, go back of my hand a little bit so I can control the pigment, and I'm just gonna center this around the center of my cheek. It's a very beautiful baby doll pink. In real life, it is super duper pretty, but on camera, I don't know if it's going to show up as well. But I really like this pink. I think it does a lot to give you a really nice natural flush. So I'm just dipping more into the pot, putting more at the back of my hand first, and then kind of going back and forth. My powder blushes. So I'm going to start off with NYX's Buttermelt Blush series. I have another color of this. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I also have one of their bronzers. I'm actually going to do a video about some of my favorite drugstore, and these are definitely part of it. I saw a makeup artist and creator use this as sort of a gradient. I'll put her picture and a shot of her YouTube short here. And it was her that inspired me to use this one because I have the same color that she used. And it's to kind of create a little bit of a, what she referred to as a gradient, which makes sense to me. Instead of just having just pink on your face, it does make sense to have a little bit of layering technique. So this is a coral shade. I believe this is number 5, Had Butta, and it is just a really nice coral. So I'm just kind of lightly using this powder, and I'm using a really fluffy Real Techniques blush brush just to create a little dimension with that. I'm actually going to go in with some REM blushes. I did a video about these before. These are really pretty. One of them is a little bit more pigmented than the others, but I'm going to continue with this theme of like a gradient effect. So I'm using the colors Pinking of You and Strawberry Nubella. Strawberry Nubella is really, really pretty in person. So I'm going to start off with the lighter of the shades. This is Pinking of You. Nice matte, and it's very light, and I'm going to kind of use a powder velour here, make that a little bit of a highlight just to go under the eye a little bit. So this isn't going to have as much color payoff as the other one, but I just want this as kind of like a highlight to kind of keep the under eye bright. Now I'm going to go in with Huda Beauty's setting powder in Ube Birthday Cake. And I'm going to again use the powder velour. I'm going to tap off the excess and hope that that can just tie everything in together and create a little bit of a blurring effect. Okay, I'm gonna let that one in particular sit. So I'm gonna let this setting powder sit for a little bit. And in the meantime, I'm going to probably put a little bit of just regular loose setting powder on. I'm going to go back in with my Fenty Beauty highlighter, and I'm just going to put a little bit more highlight in my inner corner just to brighten that up. And maybe I'll put a little bit on my nose there, create a little bit of that highlight, and a little bit just top of the cheeks there. I don't really want to disturb too much of this of the blush, because the blush is like the main star of the show. Just a little bit of highlight there. And I might just take some up to my temples because I love this highlighter so much. I think it's super pretty. I'm gonna finish with my Miss Thing setting spray from REM Beauty. And this is my finished look. And I love, love, love the Sparkle Edition. I love diamond, like silver, champagne highlight. Like that's my favorite thing. I love blush too. I'll be honest, this is a little bit heavier. Even as I'm speaking and looking at like the review mirror in my camera, I don't know if it will come off prominent or too prominent where you're like, whoa, but it is very pretty. It's very sweet. And I like the whole ethereal, fairy-like essence of the makeup. And I think obviously Esther is extraordinarily talented, and I just absolutely love the looks that she created. And as I said, I'm a huge Olandria fan, and just seeing just the gorgeous blush looks that she had on her, I was like, yeah, I had to give this a try. So let me know your thoughts. Do you love blush? Have you been swept up in the haze that is Painted by Esther's very viral look right now of just using really prominent blush and just creating like a really pretty look. So I had fun with it, and let me know your thoughts. Till the next video.